nowadays I keep seeing IT professionals on social media talking about endless job searches that they're doing. Some of them, they say, I've been trying for a month. Some people say 2 months. It's been 6 months. It's been 1 year. It's been 2 years, and no responses from employer. Uh, Employers are ghosting them. Recruiters are ghosting them. What's really going on in the job market right now? Any insights?
Yeah, right. It's a very typical and complex issue. But I think it's on both the sides. So I'm not saying that it's all candidates' fault. I'm also not saying it's all employers' fault. Um, as we know, recruiting is broken, and I think it is broken because there is lack of communication. So there is lack of communication between hiring managers to recruiters, to sales reps, to recruiting managers, to accounts managers. So there are series of people involved into the whole hiring process. Recruiters are only the face of the process. So we think that whatever happens outside, recruiters are sole whole and sole reason that this is happening to me. But I'd like to say that most of the times it's not recruiter, because recruiting is a team sport, and without them having support from hiring manager or other people in the chain, they cannot actually deliver. So why people are not, I would like to focus on why. First, I would like to focus on candidates, why they are not getting responses, or why they're being ghosted, or why they're not able to land up to the
Don't you think
opportunity.
this is more of a job market also situation?
Yeah, this is job market too, like it is. But I truly believe that job market has always been difficult. Like when was the time when it was easy? Like I don't think 10 years ago when I was searching for my first role, it was very easy, because everybody told me that you can never find a job in Toronto. You have to go to Alberta and Saskatchewan and God knows what.
And
And I
then the
used
Canadian experience that you bring.
yeah, so there was no Canadian experience either, right? So I had no Canadian experience. So I think anybody and everybody who is newcomer, or even if you are into the market and you want to change your career, they all face the same issue. Somehow we think that because I'm outsider or I came from different country, I'm being treated differently. But in my experience, people who have born and brought up in, say, Canada or US, but they want to shift their career, they face the same difficulties, right? So I really, I think I have seen a bigger picture, and I really want to point out that it's not just the market, it's not just the employers, and it's not just your skill set. I think it's more about your mentality and your lack of understanding of the current system and the trend, and and then the environment that you are trying to project yourself. So we are not habitual of putting ourselves outside. We are not habitual of going out and say, these are my achievements. So these are my expertise, and these are my area of improvement. We are not trained to be that specific, and I think that's one area in terms of presentation. Second, in terms of understanding how things work here, how the recruiting process work. They have no idea. I mean, when I was new, even I had no idea what is the difference between an agency recruiter and a corporate recruiter, or who is an accounts manager, or who is a sales manager. What a sales manager is doing in recruiting process, right? But they play a very important role. Who are the hiring managers? How do they take interviews? Do even they know what kind of question they should ask or they should not ask? Most of the times they
There
don't.
are so many titles in recruiting industry that we see. Sometimes talent acquisition people. There are recruiter, talent management. Then
Yeah.
we see account manager reaching out. Sometimes directors are reaching out to people.
Yeah.
So honestly speaking, you're right. We don't know how to talk to them or how to
Yeah.
sell ourselves to that specific person. And then
Yeah.
we get annoyed that
Yeah.
what is this happening? I'm not getting the answer.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we don't understand the system. I think that's again an added level of frustration. And then third thing is that we say that, oh, everybody, and I have seen something, I have also seen in the market, that there are so many newcomers, they say, oh, market is bad. right? Recruiters, they don't want to work, or we don't have Canadian experience, so but obviously we won't get a job. So I think they kind of take those excuses as a shield for not getting a job, and sometimes they are not even accountable for that. Maybe they have 2 years, 3 years work permit, maybe they have family to feed them. I don't know. But I never had those luxury. I never had a luxury to go back and say, by the way, I couldn't find a job. Okay, then you are out of my home at least. and then
Yeah,
and then
I
find
think
out what you want to do with your life.
people don't have patience, and people don't and always have a plan B. So I
Yeah.
think these are the two things that
Yeah.
people keep in mind. And when they come here, they are able to give excuses to every opportunity. They will say, oh, this opportunity has got this particular skill, I don't have it, I will not apply.
Yeah.
Or, oh, today, not today, maybe tomorrow we will apply. So I
Yeah.
think this is our own excuses that we have built up over the period of time while applying, and I would call it as laziness. People are not serious about it.
Yeah. Well, that is one aspect. I think they're secured. I think that's why it's so it all boils down to how hungry you are, right? So maybe if you are secured, maybe you have family support, then maybe you are not hungry. It's okay if you find a job in 1 year, 2 year. So you will not put in that level of effort because it's you don't have sense of urgency then. So I think those ingredients also play an important part. If you have come as a PR with your family, with your husband or with your spouse or family support or whatever, you are not going to be on the road if you don't find a job tomorrow, right? Whereas somebody who has come all on their own, no financial security, no social security, they don't know anybody, no family, no relatives, then they have to take action. So I think those elements also play the role. But all in all, it's all about understanding the system and then actually understanding what they need to do. I think most of the job seekers have no idea what they are supposed to do in to find a job, and that's where they put in their efforts in wrong direction, in wrong resources, in doing wrong tasks and wrong actions. I think that's where they stuck up. And especially during my career coaching sessions, I in 1 hour I give them an action plan and I tell them that forget about the market, forget about recruiters, forget about even your skill set, and this is what you still need to do. And they're like, whoa, I have tons of things to do. Now, when I give them the action plan, then their job hunting is in their own hands. Now, no one else is responsible if they're ready to do what I suggest them to do. So I think um, that understanding is really missing, and that's where I see a lot of people wasting their time and effort.